All right, so let's go over some possible bounce shots. Remember, with these kinds of breakdowns, it's just kind of first impressions. It's not necessarily that this is a 100% this is gonna work, just kind of some stuff that I had seen. So, get this one here. There was one that I had seen earlier that from here could bounce into that 50 snake. So that is definitely an option there. Same thing from this can. You might be able to bounce it across into there and possibly do a similar bounce from the tower here. So just a couple different options into kind of those 50 areas. Again, like I had mentioned before, these are all possibilities. You'd have to go out and try them. Also, even if it works at practice, sometimes at the event it's not going to work just because of a slight variation, or the bunker is inflated a little bit more than usual or underinflated. There's a lot of different things that could happen. So those are a couple different ones there. What I think could maybe, this one's going to be real iffy. Let me get this here, is here to bounce across, which means that this one might also work. So bouncing across there. If they're on the outsides, it's not going to work. I think it's going to go bounce back this way. But if they're in these wedges, it might be enough that you'd be able to get those shots there. Let's see, there was another one that I had seen as a possibility. So from this back corner, off there, going across, could possibly work. I'm not a huge fan of this corner as like a way to really stop anything, just because there's still ways the snake can move up, so it's kind of like, I'm not so sure that this is a place I'd want to get to, and I'm not sure that this bounce is going to be so strong that it's worth getting there, just as a caveat there. Let's see. So from here, off the Aztec into the tower. So that's another one. I'm wondering if the inside here could also do that. Just to use that as a way to maybe kind of trap people in there, or, you know, something along those lines. What about, there's another one that I had seen. I'm trying to remember where it was at. Oh, it was this. This one I think could work. It's just going to be a matter of like, go and try it. I'm not sure if the bounce is going to work great, but if you kind of hit the bottom section of this Dorito one, it might skip into that Aztec. So there's a lot of gaps already. So just kind of making it more where there's an issue for that player. I think it could be beneficial to try that one. Let's see about, this could maybe work off there. I think that these bounces are going to be a little too aggressive to work, but this could be worth trying, even if you were kind of like out in this zone here and shooting back, like maybe as you're running and gunning up. I'm not really sure, but if someone is posted inside and you're here, you might be able to bounce it off the can into them. That's definitely a possibility there. Where else? There was another one that I had seen when we were doing the breakdown. That's right, it was the Snake 2 off this pin into this Dorito. This, I'm not a huge fan of stopping in the Snake 2, just because I kind of feel like you need to have two people in the Snake and they can, you know, make those moves up and then bounce off this pin. If it's worth it, like you're able to get good bounces off that pin into that player consistently, then absolutely stop here. This would definitely be one to, because when I was looking at it, there's not a whole lot of great shots from this Snake 2, but if this works well, it's going to definitely put a thorn in the side of those Dorito players. So this is definitely another option that could work, but again, you just have to go out and try it. That's really all there is to it. Let's see what else there might be. Ooh, this could maybe work. I don't know if this angle is gonna work. Let's see. So I think this one might bounce too far behind the snake 3, but from here, bouncing off the pin into the snake 3 could maybe work. Let's see what else. And again, all I'm doing is looking at the angle and just trying to see if there's kind of a ricochet that happens off there. Is there something that could work? Is there something that, you know, it's all possibilities. That's all that this is. I've already said that a couple times. So like even like this. So we know that you can shoot from this to your mirror, but I wonder if you bounce it off there, if it'll skip this way into that corner. I think it might go too far behind, but you could try it. It's another one that's a possibility. And let's see if there's any others. So maybe, no, that's not gonna, let me try this. I'm gonna let the angle work out. No, it's gonna line right up into it, so that's not gonna work. Okay. This one could work though. So from here across, or from here across. I think either of those have a chance. So there's a lot of good possibilities here. I think this is definitely going to be one of those fields that just go and try it. I mean, that's every field really, but I feel like the big threat is definitely the snake. That seems like that's more of an issue than the Dorito side, at least in terms of aggression. Because Dorito, you can shoot into the gaps a little bit easier. The snake side, it's harder to stop progression on that side. So if you're able to trap people back here and make it where you're just a thorn in their side, that's gonna make it real difficult for them. So even like I'm looking at this here, and that bounce might work. So this might actually make this can a little bit stronger than initially what I was thinking, if these bounces work. So this might be too close. Sometimes if it's too close that it's just breaking on the bunker rather than just losing that enough inertia, so that way it's able to skip off. It's not enough to break the ball on the bunker. So that's kind of what you're looking for, is that kind of perfect balance. So from here, you might be able to bounce it off there into that 50 snake. So yeah, that could be definitely a possibility. I think from here off this pin, which means that from here off this pin as well could work. So I really like these two structures. I really like this one to shoot down on the snake like we had seen in the snake video. Also the fact that you can help the Dorito side, even if they make it through this gap, it looks like you can shoot off this pin and it'll bounce in. This guy's not gonna be able to do as much to stop the snake, but like we had seen, they're able to shoot this gap here. I wonder if you could actually kind of scoot back a little bit and bounce it off there into the snake corner. That's another option that could possibly work. I like this structure a little bit more to either stop the move or shoot heads up. So this maybe even putting two people in here could maybe work if this bounce is really, really good, because then you can shoot this gap, and then even if they get through there, you have this bounce shot right there, and it's gonna push them to the outside, which means that someone else can pick them up, essentially kind of pinching them out to get that. I still feel like the first punch is coming on this snake side. Just my own opinion from what I'm seeing with how aggressive you can be in this snake, but this Dorito side, it's not that it's useless, it's just that it's not as strong as the snake side here. But these two center structures are pretty solid. It's just getting there that's kind of the issue. But tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm sure that there's bounce shots that I'm missing here, but put it down what you think might be possible. Thank you again to the EPL for bringing me on board to do this, and good luck to those that are playing in the Dyzana Open. See you guys out there, and good luck.